Hey, what's up everybody? It's Naomi. So it's been a week since installing this Monster Service V1 wide body kit for my Hyundai Genesis Coupe. So in this video, I just wanted to go through a couple of the things that we ran into, any problems, the little nuances, and how it's holding up so far. I actually finished it today in prep for the new wheels that I'm getting, hopefully within the next week or so. If you have any guesses, feel free to comment. I will give you a hint and say that it is from Japan, and yes, they are 3-piece wheels. So, very highly anticipated, and stay tuned for that one as well. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's kind of a pan of the car and how it sits. I will have to say I am incredibly happy with how the car looks right now, with how it sits. I'm fully aired out, which was something I wasn't able to do prior due to my current setup, hitting the inner fender and prohibiting me to air out all the way. So this is me aired out. Let's get into it. So the front fenders actually took longer than the rears, just because we had to do a lot of fabrication as far as cutting and shaving and dremeling. And because this is a show car, I'm a little bit picky with how the car has to look. So again, it just depends on you and how picky you are with the car and how you want it to look, right? Also, obviously they're not OEM fenders, so going into this, I knew there was going to be some custom work that needed to be done, or fabrication. So for example, one of the big issues that we had was the fact that the door was rubbing on the fender, and upon installing it, we had to take it back off and kind of manipulate it in a way to where it wouldn't hit the fender. So down here, there's 2 bolts behind your side skirt. Had to Dremel that out so we can kind of move it further away from the door, and as you can tell, there's a gap and it gets smaller. Move it away from the door and then bolt it down. We did also have to shave off here where the hood and the fender meet, because and this is on both sides, we had to do the same work for both sides. When I put the hood down, it did hit the corner of the fender. Here as well, I did have to shave and cut a big amount here so that I can air it all the way. Now I decided not to do this even more until I get my new wheel. So I'm gonna kind of go back, give you a good look of how it looks. Here as well, it doesn't sit flush. But again, there's really not much you can do. That's the best we're gonna get it, and I'm happy with it, so honestly that's really all that matters. Moving on to the rear, pretty straightforward. It fit really well. No issues at all bolting up. And honestly, cutting it and welding, sealing, I want to say it's a lot easier than what we had to do for the front. The only thing is that it doesn't really line up with the bumper here necessarily, but I'm not going to cut all of this. Now I'm not sure if it's the same for anything. I also have an aftermarket rear bumper by M&S America. It's the Hyper G rear bumper, and here's a look at it. So because there is this body line that kind of comes out, I decided not to bolt this down, because as you can see, this would put a lot of tension on the fender. So for me, I'm probably gonna Bondo it to cover it and then get it wrapped, or I'll just leave it and have them wrapped over it. Same thing for the other side too. But again, I'm so happy with how it turned out. It was a kind of a 2-day ordeal. We did finish up all the cutting, all the welding in the first night. We were up till about 12, just working on the car. But again, I'm very happy with it. Also, there is a flare that comes that can connect here, but I decided not to use it. Honestly, I'm not quite sure if I will. I still do have them, but here's a look at them. The front. So there you have it, the full process, installation, and the additional work that went into installing this wide body kit. Do I recommend it? Yes, 100%. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. I would not take this back at all. I'm actually happy that I actually went through with it. So stay tuned for the next one. And if you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to comment, message me, or even email me. I'll be happy to clarify or answering the questions that you may have. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.